So now we're gonna have a look at the development of the spleen. So in order to do that, we're gonna introduce a transverse section to the embryo and look from above. We're gonna look at the cross section of the embryo in the stomach region. Okay, so this is gonna be at the ventral side, and this is the dorsal side. This is the right side, and here is the left side. So this is our stomach in cross section. These are the mesenteries of our stomach, which are the dorsal mesogastrium. This is the dorsal mesogastrium. And this is the ventral mesogastrium. So the ventral mesogastrium and the dorsal mesogastrium. So how does the spleen form? Actually, the spleen forms within the folds of the dorsal mesogastrium, and from the mesodermal cells that are forming the dorsal mesogastrium. So the spleen is of mesodermal origin and not endodermal origin. So the mesoderm of the dorsal mesogastrium start to form the spleen within its fold. So this is the stomach, and the spleen forms within the folds of the dorsal mesogastrium, as we see here. Now, as we know, the stomach has not done any rotational movements, and now we're going to demonstrate the first rotational movement around the longitudinal axis of the stomach, which are the 90 degrees clockwise rotation around the longitudinal axis. And we're going to see, we saw how this affected the dorsal mesogastrium, and now we're going to see how does this affect the position of the spleen. So now we're going to demonstrate this movement. So here the stomach has rotated 90 degrees along its longitudinal axis, putting the dorsal mesogastrium towards the left side of the body. And because the spleen is associated with the dorsal mesogastrium, it will also be positioned on the left side of the body because of this rotational movement. And as we know, in the adult, the spleen is located to the left and posterior to the stomach, and it's because of this rotational movement this happens. So now the dorsal mesogastrium is going to form a couple of ligaments. The first one, this part here between the stomach and the spleen, this is the gastrosplenic ligament. Okay, so the part of the dorsal mesogastrium between the stomach and the spleen is called the gastrosplenic ligament. And there is this part here of the dorsal mesogastrium between the spleen and the developing kidney. Okay, so the kidney, as we know, it develops in a retroperitoneal position on the posterior body wall. So this is the kidney. And the part of the dorsal mesogastrium between the spleen and the kidney is called the lieno-renal ligament.